Hello, my friends, and in the words of the great Brian Last, yes, you are my friends. Welcome in. I bid you welcome. I am a book reader and a book collector, and one of my favorite authors to both read and collect is a fellow by the name of Joe R. Lansdale. Ever hear of him? Anyway, Joe R. Lansdale, right here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves of Joe R. Lansdale books and a lot of other crap too. Ninja Turtles, these are Ninja Turtles. These are cool toys. I started playing with these action figures when I was a boy, when they first came out, and Raphael was my very first one. Doesn't relate to Joe Lansdale in any way whatsoever. It just happens to be something I dig, something I dig, Anyway, as a collector of Joe R. Lansdale and a reader, a fan, I, of course, dig a couple of characters he's created called Hap and Leonard, two pals that get into all sorts of trouble and chicanery. Always got something going on. Things are always going wrong, and they always work out the Hap and Leonard way, which is they never really work out great. You just kind of get back to almost a homeostasis sort of a situation here. Anyway, but a couple of great characters, and Joe Lansdale has written a lot of Hap and Leonard books. I've got dupes. Some of them will be different ones, trade editions, limited editions, but this is all Hap and Leonard stuff, and there's some Hap and Leonard stuff here, some collections and such. But there's a new one out, a new Hap and Leonard book out, and it's been delivered to my mailbox. The friendly neighborhood mail lady has hooked a brother up. Murder by the Books. Murder by the Book. I ordered a copy, a first edition, first print, trade edition hardcover for Murder by the Book. And I wanted a signed copy because, in my humble opinion, signed is always better. And if you disagree with me, then I disagree with you. See how that works? Anyway, signed is always better, and I wanted a signed copy. Murder by the Book had me in mind. They took good care of me. I was able to purchase one, and they delivered. Now, they shipped this in a bag, which I don't like books shipped in bags. So the bag has some really sticky stuff here. I'm just going to stop playing, and I'm going to cut. How do you want to cut this bag? Let's cut it like this. I'm going to cut this bag open. They shipped it in a bag. It's a bubble mailer. And I don't like that because I know how badly some of these things will occasionally get abused in the mail. And it doesn't take much abuse for a corner on a book to get mashed or something like that. And I don't want books with mashed corners, especially when I pay for a new book. But they shipped it in a mailer. Here it is, a bubble mailer. And then they wrapped it in paper, which is kind of cool, like it was shipped from the meat department at your friendly neighborhood butcher shop. But let's take it out and see if my book came in the condition in which I hope, and see that it's signed, and see that it's a first print, first edition, trade edition. Anyway, the only reason I'm even showing you this is because I'm a fan. It's signed. This is the stuff I collect, and as a budding beginning collector, I collected first edition, first print hardcover books, and that's what this is, although it wasn't always as easy to find signed copies at that point. Where now we have a lot of bookstores doing signing events and selling pre-orders for signed books, publishers doing limited editions and stuff like that. So just taking a look at the artwork on the front, you see Hap, you see Leonard. There are a couple of characters, man. Lansdale, he doesn't write things right down the middle. He always likes to add a little pizzazz to his characters. So, in a nutshell, Hap and Leonard. Leonard Pine. He is a black guy, a military veteran. He is homosexual, and he is very conservative in his politics. Hap Collins. He is a white guy. He refused to go to war in Vietnam. So he suffered the consequences. Did some jail time for it because he refused to go. He wasn't going to go fight the Vietnamese. He is very liberal in his political beliefs, and he's heterosexual. And these guys have been the tightest, the closest of friends since childhood, putting each other above all other relationships and all that stuff. They work together. Sometimes they live together in a non-romantic sort of a way, and they always get in trouble together. And each one of these books shows just how deep these guys can get in trouble and still somehow make their way back out. Usually they get themselves in deep trouble trying to help people. So it's not like they're bad guys out doing bad things. Although occasionally they get in trouble because somebody pissed off Leonard and he goes hog wild on them or whatever. But typically they're trying to help somebody and they get in deep doo-doo. And it's always fun. There's a lot of fun in these books and I dig it. Just taking a look at the artwork here while I'm talking. It looks really cool. Some of these trade editions at a distance, it doesn't look like much. But I really dig the dust jacket artwork on the front. And then on the back is praise for the novels of Joe R. Lansdale. So you want to read some blurbs from some people. Let me take off this dust jacket here, stretch it out and show it to you before we get into the hearts of the matter on the inside of this signed first edition, first print, trade hardcover. Let's see if it says anything about the art on the front. Jacket design by Greg Kulik. Jacket art by Trevelyan Images / Getty Images. Author photograph by Karen Lansdale, wife of Joe R. Lansdale. So Trevelyan Images and Getty Images produced the jacket art. Printed in the United States. But let's take a look at our book. And it is paper covered. It feels good all the way around. There is the spine. And it is let's don't talk out of school. It is a glued binding at close examination, under close examination. You can see the glued binding there, which is very common among trade editions and common among some people that pass off limited edition books as limited editions. A cheaper way to bind. But it does come here with some things stuffed in here. Signing soon at Murder by the Books. And there's a list of people they have signing soon. If you're interested, I'll show you. I'll show you who they got signing at Murder by the Books. I'm not going to read them off. But if you're interested, take a pause for the cause. Check it out. See who they got signing soon at Murder by the Books. What else have we gotten in here? What else? We got a bookmark from Murder by the Book. These stories are killer. Murderbooks.com. And I've ordered something else from them. Maybe it was Lansdale. I don't know. But I've got one of these bookmarks. Just can't remember when or what. But some bells are beginning to ring. I don't know if that's tinnitus or if that's me remembering something. And here is our signature. Joe Lansdale signed directly over his name, Joe R. Lansdale. So he didn't slash out his name. He just signed right over it. There you go with his, with one of his many signatures. This is one of the least sloppy Joe Lansdale signatures. It's almost something you could read. I got a bunch of books signed by Joe Lansdale. And I probably got 20 different variations of the Joe Lansdale autograph. And also here, other books. You want to take a look and see what we got in there. Maybe you want to check it out. Joe Lansdale, one of my favorite authors. And I'm looking for a number line, and I don't see it. So this says first edition, July 2024. It does not have anything that would indicate second print. No number line going down to 2. No mention of other printings. So this would be how they at Mulholland Books now designate a first print edition. And it is a trade book. So in this case, you got the paper's not bad. It's relatively thin, but it feels good. It feels better also than other limited edition book makers that I have purchased from. The text is rather small, but I'm interested. I can't wait. In the Hap Leonard series, I've read Hap Leonard. Vanilla Ride is the most recent one that I've read. So I've still got to read Devil Red, a couple of novellas, Honky Tonk Samurai, a couple more novellas, Rusty Puppy, Jack Rabbit Smile, The Elephant of Surprise. I got a bunch of more reading to do, and then Sugar on the Bones, but there's so much to read. I'll get to it. I read as I go, but I've got to get back onto some Hap Leonard readings. I'd say my favorite, it's hard to say. I really like Savage Season. It set the stage, but the tone of Savage Season, the first Hap Leonard book, is different. It gets it changes as it goes. A little more humor, a little more fun injected into them as they go. But I feel like Mucho Mojo, I would probably say, is my favorite. But these first three, Savage Season, Mucho Mojo, and the Two Bear Mambo, got to be my favorites. I don't know. It's hard to say. Bad Chili is really good. They're all really good. I recommend you jump in, have fun, put your boots on, strap them down, but have a good time. They are fun books. Joe Lansdale is a fun author. One of my absolute favorites. So, with that being said, that's what I got in the mail today. Thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo.